Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. What's up, cousins, and welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries, where the cases are wild, the commentary is real, and you already know the foolishness, it never disappoints. Now, before we dive into this week's case of chaos, strippers, and straight up dumb decisions, let's take a second to welcome all of our new listeners. And if this is your first time joining our little corner of the podcast world, first of all, we love you for being here. And second of all, I'm gonna need you to buckle up, baby, because it gets crazy over here. This is not for the faint of heart. We will have you clutching your pearls and your bonnet at the same time, okay? And for our day ones, our ride or die cousins who've been rocking with us since day one, you already know the vibes. Now, listen, if you missed out on BTCC Presents Crime, Cocktails, and Canvases last week, baby, you missed out on a time. The drinks were flowing, the shenanigans were in full effect, and let's just say some of y'all cousins showed out more than the paint did. And speaking of showing out, if you tuned into Melanin Mayhem last week and you heard Renee talking about how I drugged her, I need to clear that up right now. I did not drug that woman. I said gummy as in an edible, and she heard gum. And for the record, I am not responsible for whatever dance she did with Black Jesus that night. And speaking of dancing, did y'all catch our Stephanie Mills TikTok? I'm gonna need y'all to check our socials if you want a good laugh. Now, before we get into it, be on the lookout because details are dropping soon for our next virtual cousin link up. And Houston, you up next. So we're bringing the true crime, the cocktails, and the chaos your way. But first, let's get into today's case because this one right here is giving bad choices, stripper poles, and what were y'all even thinking? Today, we're talking about the tragic and twisted case of Jessica Krause Patterson and John Banks. This story is packed with obsession, betrayal, and a trail of decisions so dumb you are going to be yelling at your speaker. So grab your drink, adjust that bonnet, and let's unpack this mess together. Melanin Mystery style. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host Willie, and we got a special guest in the house tonight. You want to introduce your? Oh, well, not tonight. Today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay, who are you?
Lori Andrew Webb.
Mama, you ain't got to say your full government name.
Yeah, hey,
Jeez.
that's not government. That's my name. Government to name you, okay?
We got my mama in the house, so my mama gonna be on here with us. I'm over our house visiting her, so she about to join us with the shenanigans. So let's go. Okay, y'all, picture this, y'all. It's early. I'm talking early, like 7 a.m. The sun barely clocked in. You already questioning your life choices. Maybe you headed to work, maybe the gym. If you one of them overachievers like me, mama, you know I'll be in the gym all the time. I know my mama know. Either way, coffee ain't kicked in yet, and the world is still quiet. You step outside, minding your own black-owned business when you spot something in the parking lot. At first, you're like, man, who left a hoodie in the middle of the road? But then you squint a little harder and realize, nah, that ain't no hoodie. That's a whole body. Now you're trying to be optimistic. Like maybe he just drunk or, maybe taking a nap, because there's a lot of Negroes that like to take naps to the middle of the street, right? I'm just saying. But nah, this ain't that. You get a little closer and the air shift. You feel it. Ain't no movement, no breathing, just still. So now you stuck like, bruh, who has time for this on a Tuesday? You just want to clock in, get your check, maybe hit the vending machine later, not discover a dead dude before breakfast. But you do what any decent person would do. You pull the phone out, you dial 911, and you start praying. Somebody show up quick. Now, the neighborhood nosy folks start peeking through the blinds, acting like you did it. And that's exactly how this wild story kicks off. One morning, a body laid out in the middle of a Austin, Texas parking lot. No ID, no clue who he was, no hint of what went down, just a whole lot of questions. And trust me, By the end of the case, the answer is going to make you shake your head. So when police pull up to the Colonial Village at Canyon Hills Apartments of Bluff Springs Road, they're not walking into your average Tuesday morning. They're walking into a full on crime scene. Mama,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
Sure.
If you woke up in the morning, you went outside with your morning coffee,
Okay.
and you saw a dead body, what you doing?
Oh, I don't know.
You ain't gonna call the police?
I pray first.
You,
Yeah. Then I call the police.
you gonna pray first?
Yes, I am.
Mom, them valuable minutes though,
Yeah, but
mom.
those minutes
Well, if
pray,
he did, I mean,
they're more valuable.
Oh, she said prayer more valuable than 911. She
Yes,
said she gonna call on the Lord,
yes,
not
I am. Not
911.
now. What can't do nothing for me.
All right, go ahead, girl.
so laying there in the courtyard is a black man. He's in his mid to late 40s and he's stretched out like life just stopped mid stride. His pockets, they're turned completely inside out. His belt still got an empty phone case clipped to it. So whoever did this made sure they left nothing on him but questions. So he's flat on his back. He has visible wounds to the back of his head. But here's where it gets really inconvenient. The damn sprinklers had already gone off. So everything from the ground to his clothes were soaked. Any blood evidence, footprints, fibers were washed away like somebody hit cleanup on aisle 7.
Mm.
Now, the man's outfit catches the attention. It's a plaid Van Heusen buttoned up over a burgundy Mississippi State Bulldogs t-shirt. He had on some black dress shorts and Nike sneakers. I don't know what was going on with this man's outfit, but that just
This,
seemed like a lot going on.
wait. Black. Wait, you said church shorts?
Yeah, he had on dress shorts, and then you got on a Van Heusen butter, and then you got it's a lot going on here, sir.
Man,
It's
you know that's an old nigga right there.
like with
that,
the
that
phone clip,
that looked
the
like an
phone clip
old.
tipped clipped to his belt. Yeah, he had a lot going on, sir.
Yeah, man, come on, dress shorts.
He from
Mama, who wear dress shorts at the strip
he from
club?
the Jets.
He,
That's right.
he from the
Projects.
Jets.
Yeah,
He
that's
from the
right.
projects.
So he looked like he might have been out somewhere nice the night before, nice-ish. Not somebody who expected to end up lifeless in a courtyard. But then the body tells its own story. There's a deep gash up under his left eye. There's bruising around it. There's a cut along his nostril. And then there's a large laceration on the back of his head. And that's not a he's fail type situation. That's a somebody put their hands on him type situation. So there's no wallet. There's no ID. All we got is some mystery. And there was one small clue. There was a white and yellow wristband, like the kind you get at a nightclub, and a number printed clear as day 350-525. Now, baby, when I tell you that little strip of paper ended up telling on everybody, I'm gonna need y'all to just wait because that wristband cracked this whole mess wide open.
So look, Detective David Fugit from Austin Homicide pulls up and immediately realizes this case ain't gonna be easy. The scene's already been compromised because remember the sprinklers and came on and they spray water everywhere. So most of the DNA and blood evidence could have helped, unfortunately, is gone. Still, Fugit and his team start doing what they do best. They start knocking on doors, waking folks up and seeing who might have seen or heard something. First stop, Eric Franklin. He's the one who found the body and called 911. When they talk to him, he's calm, cooperative, says he's never seen the man before, didn't recognize him at all. All right, cool. So they move on. During the canvas, one tenant says around 2:30 a.m., she heard somebody brush up against the bushes outside her house. Now, her apartment sits next to a little alley that runs from the courtyard to the other side of the complex, basically a shortcut to the parking lot. The sound woke her up, and she nudged her boyfriend like, go see what that was. He steps out, looks around, and don't see anything. First of all, don't wake me up in the middle in the middle of the night telling me to go look at something. You know what I'm saying? We in this together. We both going to look. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right,
I
mama?
ain't going to look at
Black man
nothing.
gonna get up and go out and look.
You said what?
I
My mama
said,
said black man ain't
they
gonna get
gonna
up
get
and
up
go
and
out
go
and look.
look.
No, we mind our business.
That's right.
Gee, so look, detectives show her a photo of the man they found. She looks at it, shakes her head, no clue who it is. Next, they talk to the apartment manager. He takes one look at the picture, says he doesn't recognize the man either. But then he asks something interesting. He does know Eric, the guy who found the body. Says Eric tends to have some shady company hanging around his place. Now that raises an eyebrow for Detective Fugit. So he takes it a step further, start running a place on every car parked near where the body was found. The goal, find any black male who didn't actually live in a complex.
Look
and
at this.
bingo.
It's a detective actually doing his job.
Hey man, this is one of the cases where they actually doing their job. Is he white, Detective Fugit, or is he black?
This got the name, Michael. I mean, Willie.
Mind you didn't call me Michael.
I
Mind you
call
done
you. I
messed up.
call you your brother name all the time.
Uh,
I'm with Mama. Like you didn't hear the name.
Yeah,
Fugit, that can't be a black dude name.
I doubt it, but
Highly
it's not.
unlikely.
You doubt it? Okay, my bad. And bingo. One name stands out: Elmore Allen Jr.
That's black.
Black man, car registered to him, doesn't live there. Now, whether Elmore's a witness, a suspect, or just parked in the wrong place at the wrong time, that's what they're about to find out.
I don't like his
So
name either.
I know Elmore. My mama said
That
that's
that,
a
that remind me of, what was the other one? Elbert. It gotta be this these southern names. Like these
Exactly.
old
yeah.
southern
My
names.
mama said it. Yeah, it's one of them southern names. You know, Elmore, you know, Levester Allen. You know, they something crazy. So look, whether Elmore's a witness, a suspect, or just parked to the wrong place at the wrong time, that's what they're about to find out. Like I said, so after running those plates, detectives tracked down the name attached to the car, Mr. Elmore himself. And on paper, Elmore don't, look like he really been in no trouble. He was born August 3rd, 1960, out of DeVale, Texas, a little spot not far outside of Houston. Remember, y'all, we coming to Houston also.
Sir, that does
Not
not say
Austin, Austin,
Houston.
Austin, Austin,
That ain't even
Austin.
close. And Houston and Austin ain't even close either.
But I was so excited about our us eventually visiting Houston. I just kind of spoke too quick. Apologize, Mom. You know I got ADD. Did you know that, right?
Long as you say it. No, you
Any-
don't have attention deficit or disorder. Well, you don't have
she
that.
said I don't have it. Okay, well my mama said I ain't got it, so I ain't got it. So anyway, Elmore came from a big family. His daddy Elmo Allen Sr. and he was a World War II vet. His mama Minnie Ellen Miles, them all Southern names.
Those
Yes,
black names.
black Southern names.
Yeah.
Was a deaconess in the church. So yeah, they raised their kids on discipline, faith, and a whole lot of yes, ma'am, no, sir. Life hit that family hard, unfortunately. His father passed in 1978, and before that, his mama had already buried two sons, Calvin in 74 and Marshall Ray in 69. Then later, another brother, Reverend Elworth Allen Sr., passed in 1995. By that time, Minnie left this world in 2012. She had already outlived almost half her kids. That is horrible. That's the kind of grief most folks can't even wrap their heads around. So after Elmore, he stayed local, worked as a furniture mover, blue collar man, did his job, stayed to himself for the most part, never really known to cause issues, didn't have any kids that we know of, but at the time of the death, he did have someone special in his life, his partner, Rachella Smith. Ain't that Rachel or Rachella? Rachel?
Where is do you see an A on the end of that?
I was just making sure we was on the same page. Mama, don't laugh at her. Don't get
Well,
don't.
she told her too.
Cause you just be making up stuff that's not even
I'm
there.
like, hey, if it's A, it's not on there.
Right.
That
Like,
they ain't
you
not
just
on
be
there,
making
mama.
up
Okay, really
stuff.
good. Anyway, so now detectives are looking for Elmore and thinking, okay, who wanted to hurt this man? Because nothing about him screams high drama. But when you dig into what happened the night before, oh yeah, that's when it starts getting messy real quick.
Now listen, because I need to pause this for just a second because this obituary said, quote, partner. Now y'all know good and well that is obituary code for we ain't make it to the altar, but I was there every night. Like, I'm gonna need you, don't call me no partner after I've been cooking, cleaning, stressing, and arguing like a wife. This is why we gotta get married. I'm not about to be in your obituary as your special friend. That aggravates me. I can't do it.
Yeah, that is
So
kind of crazy. Like, yeah,
like
his thing.
y'all be hollering marriage a piece of paper. No, I want my wife that holds weight to me. I'm not gonna be in your obituary as your special friend.
Now, if
But
y'all
anyway,
just got together like about 2 months before his death, that's different. But if
I mean,
y'all
yeah,
been
that's different. But if we've been together for years, I'm not about to be your little special friend in your obituary. I got a
Yeah,
problem with that.
I know, man. You first of all, at a certain age, you too old to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like,
Right. I mean, at this age, we too old to be boyfriend and
Mama, what
girlfriend.
you
Like, I
got?
don't
Like,
even.
Mama,
I think.
what? Mama, what's too? What do you think is too long for a person to be like a boyfriend
Boyfriend,
girlfriend before they get
girlfriend.
married?
Well, it depends on their age. If they girlfriend, boyfriend are 20, they should be, get married by at least by 25.
It's 25. You heard my mama. She spoke it. So after that, mama, they just shacking up, huh?
Yeah.
Heathens. Go
You
ahead.
like I because I after a while you just like I'm like, this is my boyfriend. Like I just like this is my other half because it sounds like it just sounds childish. We grown as hell. I just like this is my other half. This is my
She's
partner.
correct.
Yeah.
But
That my mama been on your side all day today, man. Go ahead.
because she knows I'm right.
She's right what she said. Was
So we gonna get back to the foolishness. So detectives they head over to break the news to Elmore's special friend, Miss Rachel Smith. Now I don't care how tough you are, that's not the kind of news anybody wants to hear, especially first thing in the morning. And I'm sure sis was distraught. So when they get there, they notice there's a white pickup truck sitting in the driveway. And wouldn't you know it, that truck is also registered to Elmore. So detectives are like, hey, can we take a look inside? And she like, yeah, go ahead. So she explains that, Elmore worked for Allen's Transport Freight Services. There was a moving furniture moving company, which checks out. And when they open the trunk up, what they find inside paints a whole different picture of how Elmore might have been spending his last off hours. So when they opened the driver's door inside, there was a stack of business cards, and they're all bound together by a binder clip. And these are not the kind of business cards you think you get at Office Depot. Like this was not like somebody passed on a small business card. These was for some clubs, and not just any clubs. They was from the Scripper clubs. So they had
Not.
the Hot Body
Oh.
Men's Club, the Ecstasy Cabaret, Rick's Cabaret, the Joy of Austin Cabaret, and the Palazzo.
Not the scrippers.
He was with the Scrippers.
Elmo got busted.
Yeah, the scrippers, man. Oh my goodness. First of all, why he got? Why they pass out business cards at strip joints?
I don't know.
That's what
Maybe
his
it's a
name
Texas
was.
thing. I don't know. We got to ask. We got to ask Arthur. I don't know. I didn't know strip clubs had business cards.
Yeah. No, but okay, now I know the flyers. They be putting flyers
Yeah,
on
I've seen
people.
the flyers, but I didn't know they had business
Yeah,
cards.
but why is you keeping them like that? Like, yeah, you giving
Yeah,
them
he
like
had
they
a stack of them. They said
a
a stack
stack
of
of
he
them wrapped up in a rubber band. Like,
because
what?
he had to plan out his week where he was gonna spend his week at. So, like I said, I don't know about you, but those don't sound like your average after work happy hour spots. These sound like the type of spots where rent money and regret meet on the same night. So now detectives are looking at this man like who up until this point seemed like, your regular, hardworking guy, got a church background. He's a family man. He got a nice blue collar job, but his glove box is telling a whole different story.
You like little strippers, you know? You like to see little naked ladies, you know what I'm
Be
saying?
like
Like,
bands and make good dance. Yeah. So remember, Elmore was found early Tuesday morning, which means wherever he went, it likely went down Monday night. And this is where things start to get a bit interesting.
so check it out. Detectives roll up to the Hot Bodies Men's Club. That don't even sound appealing. Mama, did you ever been to a strip club, Mama?
No.
No, Mama, you ain't got to lie. You could be honest,
Well, let
man.
me explain
We
something.
family.
I know we fine. No, back in the day, no, we don't strip club.
Mama said she ain't going no strip clubs. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They had what they call after hour joints.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, that's what they had. So look, they pull up to the Hot Bodies Men's Club, see who might remember Elmore from the night. Did we mention that the Hot Bodies was an all nude club? So they were scrippers, right? The manager took one look at his picture and goes, "Oh yeah, I know him." Said Elmore was one of his best customers. Now that's said, let's pause. That said, like that's not somewhere where you want to be known as like one of the best customers, a strip joint. Like that's, that's not a place that you want. Oh yeah, man, that was my best customer right there, man. He tipped good. Like
The
why?
girls love him. That
Girl,
means
love that man. Look, we gonna show miss him. Good old Elmore. Good old Elmore. But they said that man. They said that not only was he a good customer, he was a good friend too. Which, let's be real, probably just means Elmore was more than often known there enough to have his own unofficial VIP seat. So basically, that just means he used to spend a lot of money on the strippers. That's it. Turns out he was there on Monday night, April 12th, 2010. The manager even rattles off a few names of the dancers who entertained him that evening. When detectives started asking around, several of the ladies confirmed him. Yeah, Elmore was in there. Yeah, he was there. He was over there chilling. And according to them, he was feeling himself, right? They said he was teasing the dancers, flashing cash, talking big stuff. And he just got paid. He had about $1,800 to burn.
look, y'all. Calvin just got paid.
He
Hey,
just got
Calvin.
paid. But here's the thing, right? he was also drinking. And not just drinking, but he was a drinker. He was drinking heavily, right? So heavily, in fact, that they said, you know what I'm saying, they saw that he was nodding off at the table. You know, the kind of drunk where you're trying to say cool, but gravity's got other plans. Mama, remember that time when Uncle Herman was in front of the house and he was drunk and he had that money in his hand,
Oh,
but he would not let go of the
right,
money.
no.
Like we're trying to get the money out of his hand. He
Yeah,
was
too
drunk,
tight.
pants out, but he had that old 1960s, you know what I'm saying, Negro grip on that money.
That's what he was.
1960s Negro. I get it. So look, detectives pulled the surveillance footage next, trying to see if he walked out alone or if somebody decided to help him spend that little bit of money he was bragging about. And let's just say what they saw next started putting faces to names and it wasn't looking good. So look, detectives are watching that surveillance footage from hot bodies, running it back over and over. Hours of flashing lights, dollar bills, and blurred faces. Then near closing time, they finally spot him. That's Elmore, right? Still at his table, head bobbing, drink in hand, clearly riding that last wave of the night. And right next to him, the same woman the dancers mentioned earlier, right? Light skin, dark hair, dressed to get attention. Ain't nothing like it. Mama, you was a red bone, but my mama red bone. My mama light skinned. Mama, you was a hot commodity back in the day.
What
Wasn't
skinned it?
you? Light skin. Oh, my bad. Light
Thank
skin,
you.
not skinned it. She
My skin people, okay.
yeah, light skin. So look, she
Oh,
leaning in
boy.
close, whispering, laughing, and when Elmore gets up to leave, she's right there guiding him out the door. Like they've known each other for years. Cameras catch them stepping into the parking lot together. Him wobbling a little, her holding on to him, you know what I'm saying, guiding him. After that, nothing. That's the last time anybody ever saw Elmore Allen Jr. alive. Detectives freeze the frame, zoom in, and start asking around. Who is she, right? Did it take long for the club staff to answer? That's Jessica Krause Patterson. But in here, everybody calls her Sin. Mama,
Mm.
her name is Sin. A little sin is sin.
Mm.
Nigga. I know,
Okay.
Mama. You hear that, Mama? Sin.
Mm.
And if that name don't tell you exactly where the story's headed, buckle up. Now I ain't trying to be funny. I'd be terrified if somebody say, "Coming to the stage, Sin."
It's
Time to
like,
go to
oh well,
church.
it's like that time. It's time to go.
Time to go to
It's
church.
time.
Take me to the king, right? Because I ain't
Right.
got much to bring. Take me to the king. Anyway, go ahead.
So we're going to talk about Jessica Cross Patterson, or as the club knew her, Sin. She was born July 30th of 1990, and the girl is pretty. She's light-skinned girl, long hair. She got these grayish eyes that could, make her look all sweet, innocent. You know the type. They smile at you while she's sizing you up. Now, we really don't know much about her background, and honestly, for her, it's really not important. But what is clear is that Jessica had jumped off the porch early. She was only 19 when all this goes down. And she had already had a little history of her under her belt, like some petty theft charges here and there. It was nothing major, but she wasn't new to trouble. So I'm not sure if she even finished high school. But one thing's for sure, Jessica wasn't clocking in anybody's 9 to 5. She said she wanted that fast money. And she figured out that real quick that a cute face, a slim waist, and a sweet smile could open doors a lot faster than the resume ever could.
Yeah, mama, you ever heard that saying? You never trust a big butt in a smile.
No.
No, okay.
Okay. She a hoe. That's what it is.
Ah! Oh gosh. All right, go ahead, mama.
So instead of working the system, she decided to work the men in it. Okay. And that night at Hot Bodies, Elmore just happened to be the next one who caught her attention.
So now detectives got a name. Jessica Cross Peterson, aka a little sin. You supposed to be my backup, Tiffany. Nah,
Oh,
jeez.
my bad. I missed the mark.
All right, I'm gonna do it again. A little sin. Anyway, mama, you see this is stuff I go through, mama.
Okay.
It's that light skin privilege, mama. You know what I'm saying? You know about that
No,
too.
I don't.
So it wasn't too hard either. Between her job at Hot Bodies and the charges already on her record, her name pops up real quick. They find out she's only 19, young enough to barely be allowed in the club, but already got a rep for being slick. I
I
thought you
think
had to
it'd
be
be like
21 to
20
strip.
to be a stripper. Oh,
Huh?
No, I said the same thing you just said. That's why I'm like, I thought she'd be 21 to be a stripper. I don't.
I guess not. That's crazy, man.
Well, it all depends, Willie.
Depends on what, Mama. How you know about
What,
this?
yeah, but what club you going to?
Okay, okay. It
Okay.
depends on the club you're going to, Mama.
Yeah.
Okay, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. So 19. I'm just saying that that's a look. That R.
And
Kelly
who
would have.
and who they paying off?
Yeah, you gotta be paying somebody off, man. Cause that's. I mean, but no, technically they're considered a grown woman, right? 19.
Not really a grown woman. It's 21.
Yeah, that's
Because I
crazy.
mean, 19, that still got
Teen,
the teen in there.
19,
Yeah, Mama.
teenager.
Yeah,
Okay.
mama, yeah. My mama said they don't be on no R. Kelly stuff. So look, they pull her dress, head over to her place, and when they knock on the door, she answers like she's got nothing to hide. Calm, polite, almost too composed. You know that kind of calm that just don't sit right. Yeah, that one. So look, detectives tell her they're investigating the death of Elmore Allen Jr., the man she was last seen leaving the club with. She doesn't flinch. Says, yeah, I remember him. Says that he was nice. He tipped well, but what I'm saying, she didn't leave with him. What I'm saying? Claims she just walked out around the same time and went on her way. But see, here's the problem. The surveillance footage says otherwise. That surveillance footage gets you every time. They got her
Hmm.
on video leaving right beside him. So either Jessica's memory got real selective overnight or she's trying to, play the game.
Now, see, this is where things start clicking into place, and not in a good way. Because while Jessica over there pretending she barely knew Elmore, detectives already doing their homework, and they start digging into her circle, who she's around, who she's calling, who she texts, and someone named keeps popping up, John Banks.
So look, who is John Tyrell Banks? Mama, that's a black name?
You know it is.
Amen to that. Born in 1988, Austin native, and let's just say this, he wasn't exactly new to trouble. John was one of those names the police already knew. Little bit of everything on the record. Petty theft, small hustles, a few schemes that never quite panned out. The type of guy who always swore he was one move away from getting rich, but somehow, some way, that move always landed him right back in mess. Who that sound like, Mom?
Don't stop me, okay?
I would say don't do that.
I'm gonna say Uncle Frank, Mama.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Where's he at anyway?
I don't know where Uncle
How's
Frank at, man. I
Freedom?
think he back on drugs, but we'll talk
Oh,
about
I
that later.
know.
Jeez. Anyway, he and Jessica had been running together for a while. Not officially official, but definitely a thing. When she wasn't at the club, she was up under John, that toxic kind of duo. Young, broken, thinking they could outsmart the world. Detectives find out pretty fast that Jessica wasn't just flirting with Elmore for attention. She was working because the moment she left Hot Bodies, guess who she called? John Tyrell Banks.
now, phone records ended up showing multiple calls between the two that night, one right after another, all within minutes of her and Elmore walking out that door. So now detectives are looking at it like this. Elmore's dead, Jessica's story don't add up, and now she's on the phone with a guy who's got a criminal resume and too much confidence. And that's when this whole thing starts unfolding like a bad movie script. So detectives decide to circle back and talk to Eric Franklin again, because remember, he's the one who found the body in the first place. Well, turns out they find out something real interesting. Jessica had actually been living with Eric prior to all this going down.
What?
Wild. This is a very twisted tale here.
Mm,
Now,
mm,
Eric
mm.
does tell them that Jessica had moved out a while ago and she was living with John now. He said that girl could not keep a job to save her life. I mean,
How
which
you lose a job as a scripper?
I
You
mean, maybe
know,
she had a bad
my mama said you get old.
pick up disease.
She said get old and get a
Right.
disease. Get a disease and do
attitude.
it, mama.
And he said that he had any real contact with her since she left. And he swears up and down he had nothing to do with what happened. But for real, it don't even sound right. It's giving real suspicious because somehow everybody knows something, but don't nobody know nothing. Like this don't sound right. So Eric even admits that one day Jessica and John were at his apartment and he just so happened to overhear them talking about robbing somebody. So their plan was for Jessica to lure some poor fool over by pretending she wanted to buy some Xanax, and then John would jump out and rob him. But according to Eric, he ain't know nothing else. That was all he had. And he said he just mind a business that pays him. Mm-hmm. I'm with him on that one. I don't be caught. That ain't none of my business. So somehow the business always got perfect timing now, don't it?
Yes, I don't understand why people like if you're gonna commit. We talk about this all the time, Tiffany, about committing crime. If you're gonna do it, I'm never advocating for it. But why talk about it to other people?
First of all, if I'm doing
He's
it,
got
I'm doing it
pride
by
inside of
myself,
you.
What you say,
and I'm
Mom?
not
He's got
gonna.
pride inside of you. They think what they gonna do, and they like to talk about it.
I think it's ignorant, though, Mama.
Yes, you're right. It is.
Yeah, know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, what's the point of talking and yeah, like that just be yeah, that's crazy,
Just
man.
shut the, if most criminals would just shut the hell up, they would be fine.
Like real talk. I mean, again, not advocating, but that is really the truth. If people would
No,
just be quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like, geez, they just get to talking. So anyway, so at this point, Austin PD got enough puzzle pieces to know Jessica and John ain't just names floating around. They are the storm sitting right in the middle of it. Detective Fugit calls in an ADP tactical unit, and they start watching the couple's every move. For a few days, they sit on them, see, where they going, who they meet, what kind of lifestyle they're really living. And it don't take long before it's clear these two ain't exactly laying low. Then one afternoon, the tactical team moves in. They make it look like a regular traffic stop, casual routine, nothing to draw attention, blue lights, quick flash. Let me get your license and registration, please. But make no mistake, this wasn't random. Jessica and John get pulled over, and the officer tell the detectives would like, tell them that the detectives would like to ask a few questions. Now, whether it was arrogance or guilt, they agree. No struggle, no argument, just a calm, sure, we'll come down to the station. Now, two things about that. You can say you don't want to talk. So that wouldn't be arrogance. No, I mean that, but a lot of I ain't gonna say that. Let me back it up. You can say you don't want to talk, but I think a lot of people don't really know their rights. So they think just because they say they want to talk to them, they have to go.
I mean,
Learn
you can go, but the only thing that I'm going to say to you is, I need an attorney. That's the only thing I'm going to say to you.
Or
We can
just
talk,
plead the fifth. You plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like you just plead the fifth. Of the
but they
obvious,
can.
yeah.
But when you say that you need an attorney, they like by law have to stop speaking to you. They cannot say anything else to
No,
you.
no, I know that, but remember, I gotta send you that link where the dude kept on saying, "Do I need a do I need a lawyer?" And the dude and the officer kept saying, "No, no, we just asking a couple questions." And dude like, "Well, no, I'm just saying I don't feel comfortable talking without a lawyer." Like, and the dude they was still trying to get him to talk. So police are crooked. So all I'm saying, if
yeah,
I'll say get a
But
lawyer.
they're not crooked because their job is to get you to talk. But if you say I want a lawyer, at that point, it don't matter if they want to talk to you. If you even look at me
Wait,
too hard,
did
I
you
want a
just say?
lawyer.
Did you just say the police are not crooked?
No, I said that their job is to get you to talk. Like by law, you don't have to have an attorney, and
Oh,
you don't have to have an attorney to talk.
okay.
But
No, no, no. I got you. I got you. I got you.
yeah,
So
but
look.
if like, but I mean, because you can talk without an attorney, but they're going to use everything that you say against you.
they
But if
will.
you tell them no, I want an attorney by law, they have to literally stop talking to you.
I agree. I get the point. I'll make it real quick with just that the dude kept saying that, and the police officer like, "Oh no, 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 no! You don't need one. You don't need one." That's crooked. That's what I mean. But I agree. Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you're
technically,
right.
you don't need one. He didn't lie.
But I mean, but it's a wordplay though. He don't, but he's asking for it. The minute I ask for it, the questioning stops. So that's all. So look, they escorted him down to the Austin homicide where detectives David Fugit is already waiting. He takes John into one room and another detective pulled Jessica into a separate room. Now, this is the part where everything they thought they were getting away starts unraveling.
So they sit Jessica down in that little gray interrogation room. And before detectives can really get going, she's already talking. Like, girl came in there ready to perform.
Mm,
She starts off saying she and John had been dating since around September, October of '09. And she confirms that she worked as a stripper at Hot Bodies.
hot
And
body.
she was there the night that Elmore got killed. And she even threw in all proud, like, and this is a quote, and I made good money that night too. Ma'am, that is not the flex you think it is, but
It
go
really
off.
is. But no, that is. I mean, for a stripper, I mean,
Time,
who wanna be who wanna lead a plate broke?
time and place, ma'am. That's not the type of time to be popping
Oh, I
off. They
get
got
you.
you in
Okay,
here
you're right.
knowing you committed a murder and you up
Okay,
here
you're
like, and
right.
I made some good money too.
I get what you said. My bad. You're right. That was out of
Just
order,
time
out
and
of
place,
line.
ma'am. Time and place. So then she says, after work, John and his brother came to pick her up from down the street around from the club around 2 a.m. Sounds innocent, right? Until you remember she doesn't know they know about that surveillance footage. So at first she like, I mean, yeah, Elmore offered me a ride, but I didn't even take it for real. And then like not even 5 minutes later, she had a Rick James moment and she was like, okay, well, I mean, I did take a ride from Elmore, but then I didn't want him to know where I live.
Guilty.
Girl, she claims that she told Elmore to drop her off at Eric's apartment complex instead, and then that John would meet her there. And then when the detectives asked how John knew to meet her, she was like, I don't know, because I didn't even call him. So your story not even adding up. Like y'all, that's the thing. Y'all get in there, y'all get to talking, and your story don't make sense.
They talk about the wrong thing. They don't once they do it, they don't talk about all right, let's get our stories together. They just do it and then just act like they never gonna get caught.
Right. Like, I mean, at least if we gonna do something together, like we need to have our story in place before, just in case, as a contingency plan, in case we get caught, we on the same page with our story.
I understand. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mama. If Daddy committed a crime,
Okay.
right? If Daddy committed a crime, right, and they parked you in the interrogation room, would you snitch on Daddy, or would you? You know what I'm saying? If you knew he did it, right, would you tell on him?
Yeah, I get no trouble. Yes, I will. So he did. That's what we know.
Oh
Yes, I
God!
would.
She would have sent your daddy straight to jail.
Straight. I'm like, oh man, look,
I
hey
got nothing to do with this.
y'all see where I get it from? I'm snitching. All right, go ahead, Mama.
Well, that snitch is hereditary. So
Yeah, it
they
is.
was like, ma'am, how exactly was he supposed to know to pull up then Miss GPS telepathy? Because something is not adding up. So the detectives are just sitting there. They just letting the girl talk. Like, girl, just let us know what happened. They know good and well the whole story is a lie, and they got holes big enough to drive a moving truck through.
The lie is a lie, and the truth ain't in them. So look, while Jessica is one room tripping over her own story, John's in the next room trying to sound like he's got it all together. He tells detective that yeah, he did go to the strip club earlier that night. Says his brother drove him there, and Jessica came outside on her break. According to him, they just chit chatted for a few minutes, nothing major. Then he said Jessica actually paid for him to get inside Hot Bodies that night. That nigga broke.
It gotta be.
You got, hey, can you pay for me to get me? Can you pay for me to get in the club that you work at?
Right, I gotta pay to get in your job. Like I need you to use the money that you working for to get me in your
Yeah,
job
she
to
poured
see
it
what
right
I
out
can
the
see
G.
for free at home.
Yeah, she
Make
poured it
it
right out.
make sense.
She poured it right out the G string, gave it to the bouncer. Like, here you go, baby. Here you go. So look, he hung around for a bit, had a drink or two, and then left before her shift was over. Real casual, like that's supposed to clear him, right? So John says he and his brother left to go to the store, but according to him, they got held up and didn't make it back before she finished working. Now, Detective Fugit is just sitting there letting them talk, nodding, you know what I'm saying, his head, you know what I'm saying? But in his head, he's already thinking, this story sounds like it was made up in the parking lot because none of that explains why both of their phones start pinging near Eric's apartment complex right around the time Elmore disappeared. And the part that really stands out, John admits he was there, admits she paid his way in, but conveniently leaves out what happened after she clocked out. That's when detectives start realizing both of them are telling half truths, hoping the other one fills in the blank. So while both of them are sitting there trying to sound innocent, detective and his team are already pulling the phone records, and this is where the story starts to crack wide open. They line up the data from the night Jessica calls, John calls, and Elmore's last known activity, and guess what? Everything overlaps. Jessica says she didn't call John that night, but the records show multiple calls between them right after she left the club. John said he left early and never made it back, but his phone, brother, it was pinging near the same tower as Jessica's. And that tower just so happened to be the one closest to Eric's apartment complex, the same place Elmore's body was found. Jeez, right? So look, so while they're both sitting there in separate rooms, thinking they're telling two completely different stories, the phone data is out here telling the truth. Around 2:30 a.m., both of their phones hit the same area, not one after the other, the same time. That's what I'm saying, and that's right around when the tenant reported hearing someone brushing past her bushes outside the window. Now detectives are looking at the timeline like this. Jessica leaves the club with Elmore. John's phone moves towards the same area. Elmore's phone goes dark. Everything that could have been coincidence starts looking like a setup. Man, they caught. Just go ahead. Give it up. This snitch. You see, my mama said she's snitching. Somebody needs to snitch.
So at this point, Future and his team aren't asking if they did it. They're trying to figure out how they did it. So after sitting there they trying to hold it together, Jessica finally was just like, okay, all right. And she hits him with this famous line. You know the line. So what had happened was, because you know, as soon as a black person be like, what had happened was everything that come out next is a mess. So she says Elmore did give her a ride, but according to her, things had got uncomfortable real quick. She tells detectives that during that drive, Elmore starts groping on her, touching her in ways that she didn't want. And we got to be real for real. Just because she danced in a new club does not mean anybody gets free access to her body. That line of work does not erase her right to say no. So don't say nothing ignorant, sir.
I'm
So
not. I'm not about. Jeez, it's ain't it woman domestic violence? Oh, that was last month, right?
no, domestic violence month is still October.
Oh, it is till
And that would
October.
be
Yeah.
sexual assault, not domestic violence. Um, so she says that by the time they got to Eric's apartment complex, she's ready to get out. But then Elmore gets out too, and he starts following her. So she claims that he grabbed her by the pants and then he grabs her arm. And she says that's when she saw John pull up and he saw what was happening. He yells out, "Hey." So then Jessica said Elmore, he lets her go, but then he turns and blocked her so she couldn't move. So I'm just like, okay, so he blocked you and you couldn't walk around the man, but okay. And he said, quote, "I'm the man." And then that's when John supposedly punched him. One hit and Elmore fell out. So I guess like John came through like Tyson and hit him with a one hitter quitter and he
The
was
one
out.
hitter.
What?
No, I said a one hitter. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, oh, my bad. So then according to her,
What is
they just got
wrong
in the
with
car
you?
and left. So you knock the man out and then you just
That's
leave. And
it.
she said, yeah, she said that was the whole story. They didn't see if he was okay. She just punched fall and then they was out. And I mean, she's just sitting there like, I mean, yeah, that's what happened. So, I don't know how the man ended up dead and had head trauma. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, it was one punch and then we left, and that's the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And so help me God. The detectives
Mm.
are like, yeah, no, because that story does not line up with the injuries, the evidence, or the timeline. So this is what the autopsy really showed. It did show that Elmore's blood alcohol level was 0.09,
That's not even
especially.
that. That's not even that drunk. But again, he that depends on when they took it though, because that's 0. The
But he
legal
had
limit
been,
is
yeah,
0.8. Huh?
yeah. So that's barely over the legal limit.
Yeah.
So it says he was drinking, but it was not enough to make him fall out or lose control the way Jessica tried to paint it. Since the blood flow patterns on his face told a whole different story. He had been hit in the face while standing and then hit again while lying on his back. And that means he was already down, he was defenseless, so whoever was over him didn't stop. So when
Mm.
he fell, he hit that stone wall, and the impact caused his brain to swell, and that swelling led to vasoconstriction, which was a stroke, and ultimately his death. That's not one punch. That's rage.
And that was a big word too. I'm glad that you read it.
I was in the medical field, so I can I know a little bit something. So remember, when police found him, his pockets were turned inside out, his rings were missing, and his cell phone case was empty. Now, they did leave behind his truck keys. I guess the goal wasn't the vehicle, it was just the money.
Just the money.
Harder to track the money than the car. So let's call this what it was. This was not a random fight. This was not an accident. And this was not a I'm defending my girl type of situation. This was a setup. And once Elmore hit that ground, they left them man to die over a couple $100 and a lie.
Mm. Anyway, so once the autopsy report hit the table, detectives knew exactly what they were looking at. This wasn't an accident, and this damn sure wasn't one punch. They bring Jessica and John back in, separate rooms again, and this time there's no warm greeting, no small talk, just facts. Detective Fugit starts with John. He lays it all out plain. Elmore just didn't fall, he was beaten. We know, what I'm saying, where your phone was. We know where hers was. We know what time this all went down. John's sitting there trying to keep that same poker face, but you can see it slipping. Every question takes a little more out of him. Meanwhile, in the other room, Jessica's getting hit with the same truth. They show her photos of the autopsy, the blood evidence, the phone records, all of it. And she
Damn,
saw her
that's a
break
lot
it
of
down.
stuff.
Yeah, huh? What'd you say?
That's a lot of stuff.
Man, yes. And she saw him go to court because guess what? She started breaking down again, but not out of guilt, but out of panic, right? Because now there's no running from it. Every single lie they told, every excuse they tried to spin, just got shut down by science. And good hard work by them detectives, man. Go ahead, give them detectives a round of applause, man. Yeah, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
they actually did their job.
They did take it. Usually we kind of our last case they took so long. The dude took matters in his own hand.
Okay. So they did. So detectives, they tell him straight up, this was a robbery. Elmore's pockets, they turned inside out. His ring's gone, his phone gone, his cash is gone, and they know exactly what happened. Jessica lured him there. John ambushed him, and then when things went left, they panicked and left that man to die. So there was no more guessing. There was no more what had happened was. It's just straight up evidence and facts. The two people trying to figure out which one of them is going to talk first. So after all the talking, crying, story flipping, neither one of them actually confessed. Jessica, she's trying to play that innocent girlfriend role who just got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then John stayed on his tough guy act like he was going to outsmart the system. Baby, them detectives, they already had everything they needed. They didn't need no confessions because they had phone records, surveillance, physical evidence, the autopsy, and the motive. So when it comes time to make a move, Austin PD did not hesitate. Both Jessica Krause Patterson and John Tyrell Banks were arrested and charged with murder and aggravated robbery on April 30th, 2010. They tried to hold on to their stories, but the facts were not moving. They weren't some criminal masterminds. They was dumb and greedy, and they thought they were untouchable until them handcuffs clicked. And then to make it even messier, these two went to trial together. There wasn't no plea deals. There wasn't no she flipped first drama. They sat side by side in that courtroom, both of them facing the same charges, looking at the same amount of evidence and realizing this was way bigger than the quick money they thought they were getting.
At the time, I would have just went ahead and copped out, and I would have copped out, and I would have snitched to get some time off. Like real talk, that's what I would did. So look, the trial for Jessica Krause Patterson and John Tyrell Banks kicks off on June 7, 2011 in the 390th Judicial District Court of Travis County. The Honorable Judge Bob Perkins. Now that's a white man right there. They going
And in
down.
Texas. Mm-hmm.
In Texas, man. And the case is being prosecuted by Catherine Scales. Oh my God, man. Mm. Now, from the jump, the courtroom's divided. Half the folks there for Elmore family, the other half just curious how two young people ended up facing murder charges over a setup gone wrong. Jessica and John are sitting side by side at the defense table, not holding hands, not talking, just two people who used to be partners in crime, now pretending they barely know each other. Jessica's attorney, David Frank, is the first to speak, right? He starts with the opening statement trying to paint the picture of a young woman who was scared, not scheming. He tells the jury that Elmer Allen was drunk and he offered Jessica a ride and that things went wrong only after he allegedly saw her groping her. Frank leans, you know what I'm saying, hard into this angle. Says John only attacked because he thought his girlfriend was about to be assaulted. He even says, and I quote, there was no intent to kill Elmore Allen. His attempt was to save his girlfriend from what is obviously and shown going to be a sexual assault. Now, on the surface, it sounds noble. The protective boyfriend swooping in to save the stripper. But that story's gone, got some big holes in it. And the prosecutor about to start poking every single one of them.
Now, see, the defense came in swinging like he was just protecting his girlfriend's storyline, but prosecutor Catherine Scales wasn't having none of it. She stood right up there and told the jury exactly what this case was, a setup that turned deadly. She said Elmore Allen wasn't some predator in the night. He was a good man, Savannah,
A
a
good
working
man.
man who was lured into a trap by a young woman and her boyfriend looking for a quick come up. Scales laid it out clear and clean. Jessica didn't stumble into this. She planned it. She used her looks and her charm to get Elmore comfortable, and then she delivered him right into John's hands. She told the jury this was not self defense, it was greed. Because if John really was trying to save her, then why were Elmore's pockets turned inside out? Where was his phone? Why was his ring missing? And why was his money nowhere to be found? That's not what saving somebody looks like. That's what a robbery looks like. And
Mm.
let's not forget, both their phones just happened to be pinging at the scene right when Elmore's life ended. So while, David Frank was trying to sell the jury a romance novel, Catherine Scales gave them a crime story backed by cold, hard facts. And honestly, by the time she finished, the whole room knew exactly what this was. two people who thought they were slick, and a man who paid for it with his life. So when it came time for the witness testimony, the courtroom is packed. You could feel the tension. Everybody's waiting to see what, who was about to say what. So this is where all the talking stopped and then the truth starts catching up. First up, Eric Franklin, the same man that found the body. He walks the jury through what he saw that morning, how he came outside, saw the body in the courtyard. He calls 911. But it's what he told detectives after that really made the room shift. So he testified about how he heard Jessica and John over talking one night about luring someone to the apartment complex so they could rob him. The plan was simple. Jessica would pretend to buy Xanax and John would be waiting. So when Eric tried to play it cool, he's like, I'm mind a business that pay him. But baby, when you take that oath and sit on that stand, all that quiet business gets real loud. Then there was two dancers from Hot Bodies who took the stand. They confirmed Elmore was there that night. And yeah, he'd been drinking. They also said that he was inappropriately touching them and making them feel uncomfortable. So now there's a wrinkle in the story. Was he being friendly drunk or out of pocket? Either way, none of it was justified to what came next. Next, the medical examiner testifies, confirming what everyone already suspected. Elmore had been hit multiple times, not just once, and the fatal blow came from the head trauma after he fell. But then things really take a turn when John's own brother, Ricky Epps, took the stand. He said that when they pulled up to the apartment complex that night, John got out of the car and disappeared for about 3 or 4 minutes. He comes back and Jessica's with him. She's carrying a duffel bag, and then she got a paper bag and she ended up throwing up in. She would have had to get the hell out of my car. Ew. And Ricky also testified that John had told him, quote, if anybody ever asks, don't say nothing about us being at that apartment complex. Now listen, blood might be thicker than water, but it gets real thin when you're staring at a jail sentence. Because once your own brother starts testifying, that loyalty clock runs out real quick. And then one of Jessica's friends took the stand saying Jessica texted her a picture that same night showing about $700 in cash and bragging that she made it at work. Now, the other dancers who worked that night, they weren't buying it. They said it was a slow night. Like there was 3 customers and 5 dancers. So I'm gonna need you to do the math because the money wasn't out there.
Mm.
So Jessica herself, she get up there too. She gets up there and she gonna testify her own defense. And she said that she typically makes anywhere between $100 and $1,000 a night. That is a very wide,
That's a wide gap. You know what I'm saying?
yes, a very
Yeah.
wide gap.
That, geez. Usually, like, y'all I'm about 200 to 300. She did from 100 to 1,000. What?
She said, but most nights it was closer to $400 or $600, depending on how the crowd looked. Now, the club owner did get up there and say that he had seen a dancer make 20 bands in one night. So technically, Jessica's number wasn't impossible, but the jury wasn't just looking at the math, they were looking at the timing. Jessica said she only sent that picture to her friends to prove that she wasn't about to work a low wage retail job like her friend suggested. She was too cute for that. And while that all sounded nice, it also sounded like someone trying to flex right after a man turned up dead. Then came the testimony that sealed the whole mood. A resident from a property called Music Ranch testified that John told him he needed to burn some clothes. He said that John came by, burned a pair of jeans, a white t-shirt, and some tennis shoes. You're not coming by my house talking about I need to burn up. No, take that mess somewhere else.
Man, that's why I said people be just so. And unless somebody come to my house talk about they need to burn some clothes, man, you better go ahead and
Keep it
skedaddle.
moving. Keep it moving. Not over here. Y'all, I don't whatever you got going on, I don't want no parts of it.
Mm.
So he said he burned a pair of jeans, a white t-shirt, some tennis shoes, the same exact outfit he had been seen wearing on surveillance from Hot Bodies that night. And if that wasn't enough, the man also said that John told him that he might have killed somebody. Y'all need to shut up. And he said John did look sick over it and told him that he got into an argument with the man. He punched the man and the guy fell and hit his head on a rock. So now the jury's sitting there, they're putting all these pieces together, the text, the burned clothes, the brother's testimony, the autopsy, and it's painting one ugly, undeniable picture. Jessica and John weren't victims, they were the setup.
Mm. So by the time closing arguments rolled around, the jury had heard it all: the lies, the phone records, the autopsy, and even John's own brother singing like the Temptations. I know you want to leave me. But, anyway, the defense went first. Jessica attorney David Frank stuck to the script. John wasn't a killer. he was a protector. Said Elmore was drunk, aggressive, and John only hit him trying to save Jessica from a sexual assault. And some of the YNs ended up robbing him while he was on the ground after they left. Right? Frank told the jury
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't a murder, it was a tragic accident. His only
Mm-hmm.
attempt was to save his girlfriend. And look, it sounded noble, but the facts were, said otherwise. The prosecutor, Catherine Scales, got up and shut it all down quick. She reminded the jury Elmore's pockets were turned inside out, that his rings were gone, his keys left behind. She said, "You don't accidentally empty someone's pocket. You don't accidentally steal a phone and jewelry. That's not protection. That's a payday." You can see a couple jury side eye each other like, yeah, that part. Scales walked them through the timeline one last time. Jessica lures him out. John shows up, and the plan that was supposed to be a robbery turned into a homicide. She ended it plain. Elmore Allen didn't die because of a misunderstanding. He died because of greed. And after that, the whole courtroom went quiet. That kind of silence where you could hear a candy wrapper 3 rows back. After days of testimony, not hours, but days of testimony, and all the back and forth, the jury finally got the case. They spent about 3 hours deliberating, y'all. On Friday, oh, what the? They came back Monday for another 8 and still couldn't agree. Can you believe that? So they used the 3 hours to act like they were going to come up with a plan, got something to eat, and said, nah, we need more time, right? Deadlock 7-5. 7 wanted to quit, 5
That's
wanted to convict.
wild.
That's crazy. But you know what? I mean, I think it. I don't know. I don't know. I think the whole sexual assault played heavy
Yeah.
on them. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
that sexual assault played heavy
Yeah.
because so many men do that, unfortunately. And in her line of work, that's a possibility. So I bet you that's what it was. So on June 13th, 2011, Judge Bob Perkins calls it a mistrial. And just like that, week of evidence, witnesses, and drama ended with a hung jury. You could almost hear everybody thinking the same thing. We sat through all that for nothing. No verdict, no justice, just 2 defendants walking out, and the family still wanting answers.
I'm still tripping. Like, that's wild. 7-5, and the majority wanted an acquittal.
Yeah.
That's almost unheard of.
It must be a small town. They must know some
Austin
people.
is huge.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself because that makes no sense, man. They was guilty before I even heard of the case.
Not they were guilty before you even heard the case. So after the mistrial, things take a turn. Jessica actually ends up taking a plea deal, but
Now we talking.
it came with one condition: she had to snitch. So what y'all think sis did?
Man, she did like my mama would do, snitching. Ain't that right, mama?
I said, not snitches. I speak of the truth.
Oh, she said she don't snitch. She speak the truth.
So she said when she came out of Hot Bodies, John wasn't there yet. So she did go ahead and accept the ride from Elmore. But the whole time she was still in contact with John. So according to Jessica, once she got in the car, Elmore turned the radio up so loud she couldn't talk on the phone. And she said that's when he started groping her. He was touching her breasts, her shoulders, and it was making her uncomfortable. She's claimed that she had him drive her to Eric's apartment complex because she didn't want him knowing where she lived, which is understandable. You're
I
creepy
believe
and you're
that.
a
I
cousin.
believe that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to know where I live anyway. But she said also said that she asked to get out of the car before they got there, but Elmore wouldn't let her out. So when they finally pull in, Jessica said she tried to walk away, but Elmore grabs her and she starts screaming. That's when John pulls up and everything went down. She stuck to the story that they never robbed Elmore and they never meant for him to die. So in the end, Jessica ends up being charged with aggravated robbery and she was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
5 years. So that means she got out when she was 24 years old and she could still strip.
No, she was even younger than that because they sat in jail for about a year. So she was about
Oh, she
23.
23, the prime of her
Yeah.
stripping life.
Mm-hmm.
After the mid-trial, John Tyrell Banks decided to roll the dice and take his chances with a second trial. Bad move. The jury didn't buy the one punch story. The second time around, John was convicted and sentenced to 23 years in prison. Imagine that your girl getting out in 4, possibly 3, depending on how it go, and you got 23 years. He's
Yeah,
now 30.
and that's state time. So you can depending on how long they make you do it,
You
depending on the
serving that.
state, you can get out in 2.5 years. Because some states only make you serve half your
Oh yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. You're right. That's fair time. Fair time make you serve a bit of a
Yeah, yeah.
state
So
time.
she could have
Yeah.
been out in 2.5 years. Shoot, a
20
year
yeah,
and a half
yes.
after she served her year while she was sitting there. So she could have realistically been out at 21.
Man. So look, he's now 37 years old, serving his time at Telford Unit in Texas. He's been eligible for parole since 2021, but he's still sitting. He tried filing an appeal
Remind
back
me
in.
of somebody.
You said what?
Remind me of somebody.
Exactly right. Yep, he tried filing an appeal back in 2014, but that went absolutely nowhere. As it stands, his projected release date is May 30th, 2033, unless the parole board decides to show him mercy. As for Jessica Krause Patterson, the 5-year sentence clearly didn't reach her much. In 2015, she was arrested again, this time for theft of property between $1,500 and $20,000. That's a big leap, also. Maybe that's just after $20,000. What is it's a maybe it's a different charge.
It's
Did
it's or whatever it is. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So then again in 2016 for another theft. In September 2020, she was facing an assault on a security officer charge. Man, she just good lord,
Violent.
violent and a thief. Like good grief. And now it made me think maybe she the one that sucker punched him and robbed him.
I mean,
Maybe
could
poor
be.
old John and had nothing to do with it. I'm just saying because she displaying the telltale signs of a know what I'm saying, career criminal. So clearly, sis didn't take her second chance seriously, or maybe she finally figured it out because after 2020, nothing, no new arrests, no new charges. Hopefully, that means she's somewhere trying to live, right? But one thing for sure, what started as a night of money, liquor, and bad decisions ended with a man's dead, a woman's freedom gone, and another man staring at 2 more decades behind bars. And that right there is a true story. Jessica Cross Patterson, I apologize, and John Terrell Banks. Mama, what you think of the case? Yeah, clap your hand, Mama. That's good, right? What you think of it, Mom? It was crazy, wasn't
It
it?
was.
That's all my mama
It
gonna say.
was. I'm
Was
serious.
yeah, this a sad
It's just
situation.
stupid.
I know, man. People do some of the most stupid
I
stuff.
know.
But you know what's also crazy, Mom?
What's
Our
that?
next segment, and that's called
Love, lies, and alibis.
All right, you ready, girl?
No.
No, Mama said.
I'm not.
Mama, so this
This is
segment is called Love, Lies, and Alibis, right?
Okay.
Where one of our we ask a question to our listeners and our cousins. They are cousins,
Mhm.
and they answer the question, and we read the question.
Okay.
So we're gonna ask the question to you, and you got to answer the question. It's nothing crazy.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
No.
I
yeah,
forgot.
this is a very good one.
Okay.
So it was accountability check. When your partner embarrasses you or crosses a line, do you address it privately out of respect or believe in setting the record straight right then and there?
Privately, out of respect. Okay. If I
Mm.
involve in your business.
Yeah, yeah. She said y'all want everybody in the bed to speak. Or you got to speak a little bit
Okay.
louder,
You don't
Mama.
want everybody involved in your business because none of their business. Know what went on. That's between you two.
I respect that.
What you say best?
Me. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
private. I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I don't believe in that. I believe that you handle things in the privacy of your own home. It ain't no reason for me to sit there act out in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's been. I have saved face plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? And just address it when we get back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna definitely address it though. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm even cold with it where I'm not going to even let it be known that it affected me. You know, like some people wear it. Like remember the one that shall not be named. No matter
Hmm.
what, she can. You
The
always
whole
knew something
internet
was
knew
wrong.
about it.
Yes, body language. No, you won't even tell with me. I smile, act like I'm cool and everything. Till we get home, like nigga.
You got people you got to watch out if you do that stuff like that.
You say I'm the type you gotta
Yeah, you
watch
got
out
to
for.
watch out for you. Right.
Damn, mama said you gotta watch out for
I'm
me.
serious.
Jeez. What about you, Tiffany?
I'm the same. I'm not for public scenes. I'm all for I believe whatever happens, like you check your we stand solid in out in public, but behind closed door, baby, it's gonna go down. Like
Exactly.
that was when I lost all freaking respect for Jada Pinkett. You know, that's my best friend in my head.
Oh,
When
when
she
she
went
did
on
that with
Real
Will
Table
Smith.
Talk about
Wait, wait,
like
wait, wait.
everything that went on.
Wait,
Huh?
I apologize. Forgive me. You talk about at the awards?
No, I'm talking about when she went on Red Table Talk when she came out talking about how she had an affair with August Alsina.
But I mean, that's kind of a different situation. You got to understand, she was
No,
doing
it's
that strictly for clickbait, but she's doing it for clickbait though, because I mean, she was
but
doing
the
it.
thing is still like you don't sit there and put all your business like because we might have speculated, but nobody knew.
Exactly.
And you sat there and you embarrassed your
I
husband
got you. I see.
on in front of the world. Like I hated her for that. You know, I got on the phone with my auntie. Like, is Miss Carolyn okay? Did you talk to his mama? Is she okay? Because like that, like I mean, you literally had that man sitting there crying on TV, and I don't care what nobody says. Like that, it was just too much. Like that could have been handled behind closed doors. That was none of nobody's
But
business.
man,
Keep
look,
your
you know how many
marriage.
views that thing got? I mean, they did it.
I know,
I mean,
like we gotta stop selling our soul for a check. We have to stop selling our
Yeah,
soul for a
that's
check.
true.
I'm
But
so
we
sick of
do. We
I'm
won't
so sick of
stop.
Rashida and Yandy talk about some well, it's my story. Like y'all, do y'all think that y'all children are gonna see that later? Do y'all like I mean, how much respect do you think your kid is gonna have later? Because the internet is forever.
yeah, I don't get it, man. I'm with you.
Like
So
I'm not selling my soul for $1. I'm not.
no, I agree with you. So let's see what the cousins say, right? So McKenna Ezekiel, whatever her name is, there's a language barrier, but he always tries to talk to me in private, except when he assumes he can be sexual because his family doesn't know English. There's time when he'll fuss at me and then I say something smart back, and his family will know by my tone that I just roasted him. So they laugh, but I never had to go off on him in front of anyone. Shanton Janice, oh, that's my girl, man. She only my chicken wings. Respect was
Shatan. She
yeah,
don't care. She's
Shatan. All right,
18 times.
Shatan.
Shatan.
Shatan, Shannon, just give me my wings. Respect was out the window when they embarrassed me or crossed the line. I match energy, so I'm checking that stuff immediately. And I'll read one more, and you can read it. My boy DeWitt. My phone was ringing. DeWitt. Correction should be in private and praised in public. But if disrespect is huge, then that check will match it. All right, you go ahead.
Okay, so Nene said, I'm going to check it right then and there in the calmest lady way possible. But if he want to take it to the ghetto, we'll get ghetto. Um, Tasia, I want to say, honestly, this has happened to me. Long story short, my debit card was up at a restaurant completely by accident. Partner goes, see, you always losing something. First, this ain't never happened. Second, why is this your response? We go to Walmart and I'm quiet because I don't want to make a scene, but inside I'm stewing. So he asked what's wrong, and I said the typical nothing because we are with people. So he takes me to another aisle and I tell him exactly the way he made me feel in that moment, and he apologized for the situation and we were okay. I say this to say, don't bottle it, and two wrongs don't make it right. So the way your partner should have handled the situation, you do it so that they know there's a time and place for everything. I agree with that.
Man, first of all, man, I don't want to hear that long story. She could have, she could have
If you don't
summarized
let
that.
people spread their say their opinions, be quiet because you have sometimes you have to give context to your example. And I'll do one more. Let's see. Chandri says the correction is just as loud as the disrespect. If you disrespect me in a calm voice, I'm checking you in a calm voice. If you disrespect me with a raised voice, I'm correcting you in a raised voice. I need that off my chest immediately. And it ain't gonna be too many times you get to disrespect me in the first place.
All right, so there's one more. Tayana, Catrice. I have no problem embarrassing all of us in front of everyone. Play with your mama, not me. Jeez. I am a Virgo and I cannot stand public embarrassment. Things can get wicked quickly. And then Antoine was like, sounds like my wife. And then she said, I love that for her. And Antoine said, LOL. So with that being said, y'all, that is our love, lies, and alibis. And I know you're asking yourself, like, oh, I would love to be able to be a part of that. Well, I'm glad you asked. How do you do that? Do that very much. Your phone will keep ringing. Tell the bill call out yourself caller.
Very funny.
All right. So look, in order for you to do it, all you got to do is go on our Facebook page, Love, Lies, and Alibis. You answer a couple questions, and then you are part of the family. And then as soon as we drop the question, which is usually on Tuesdays, well, always on Tuesdays, all you have to do is just leave your response or whatever. Also, make sure that you join us on our other pages, our BTCC page. You can join us on our Melanin Mystery. And we also have a Melanin Mystery Instagram and a Melanin Mystery TikTok. Was that good?
Okay, and yeah, you're good. Okay, so again, if you guys missed crime cocktails and campuses last week, I don't know what to freaking tell you. You missed all the time. So I'm gonna need y'all to start getting y'all lives together because we will be coming to Houston, and just for the Christmas season, we will be presenting Season Slangs, a very black true crime collective Christmas live show. The details, it is going to be on December 12th of 2025, and this is to be a completely virtual event, so look out for those details soon. We're going to have an ugly sweater giveaway. It's going to be fun. You're going to get a live show from, of course, the BTCC, the Black True Crime Collective, which is comprised of Melanin Mysteries, Melanin Mayhem, and Not My Brother's Keeper. So you'll be able to kick it with us in real time, and the details on that will be coming soon. And then after that, we will be planning our trip to Houston, Texas, and we know we got a lot of listeners in Texas, so we expect for y'all to show up and show out because the
Yes.
shenanigans are unmatched. Yeah, we all in one room. Yeah, that was a
Yes, y'all
that
missed
was a
out.
time.
It was more than epic. I mean, everybody can vouch for it. It was epic, man. We really enjoyed ourselves. And then we went out to eat. Well, nobody but us, the BTC went out to eat afterwards, man. We didn't get in till like what time? Like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we was. Whew, that was an
Mm.
entire weekend on go. But in the meantime, while you're waiting on those details, I'm gonna need you to go check out my the click. Like I just said, go check them out. Make sure you are following and supporting. Also, I have to give a shout out to my boy over at Bitch I Can't, Anthony. Oh my god, he is like my fave right now. He is hilarious. Oh, and he texted me or messaged me on Instagram this morning. That man is hilarious in real life. So make sure you go check him out. Um, you can head over to melaninmysteries.com and snatch you up some merch. I'm going to drop some because it's about to get cold. We do have hoodies up on the website. I'm about to drop some Scullies over there, and then I'm gonna put up I have a couple new designs that I'm gonna put up. So make sure y'all go over there because y'all are funding our dream. You can also purchase ad space over there, and we ain't trying to break your pockets. And while we're growing, we want y'all to grow with us. Um, so you can do that over there. And if you just like us and you just like want to support us, y'all can leave us a little tip. We appreciate that as well. And I think that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it, man. Again, if I gotta emphasize, when we drop these special events, you guys don't miss out because it gets better every single time. I'm talking about from the time we did our meet and greet in Atlanta to when we did our live show. I mean, we did the anniversary, our 1 year anniversary, till we did our live show. Like it gets better and better, man. So make sure that y'all participate. I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. And with that, I am done. Oh,
All
mom, you
right.
want to say
So
anything? Hold on, you want to say anything before we go, mama?
Okay, I really enjoyed it. Very informative, and both of y'all are great.
Oh, thanks, mama. I appreciate it, man. She said we great. Okay, all right. Go ahead and take us
thank you,
out,
Miss
girl.
Lori. All right. So just always remember that love should not come with a life sentence. Please remember that. And if you commit a crime, do it by yourself and shut up about it. So
Amen.
yeah. So choose freedom and not felonies.
And with that, we are out.
I'm your